We understand that the Southwest arm of the youth of the APC will be storming Ibadan in Oyo State. Tonight, we have one of the leaders of the group, Rinsola Abiola. He joins us from our Lagos studio. Thank you so much, Ms. Abiola, for your time tonight. Give
Thank you
us a
so much for
sense of
having
what
me.
this means. The last time we had a conversation was the fact that the youth in the APC, especially those of your friends that you are coming together, that you want your voices to be heard, you want a prominence ahead of 2023. But you're planning this campaign, a sensitization. What does this mean? A rally of some sort. What are you up to?
Okay, essentially, we understand that to attain our collective goals, introduce a new kind of politics that will, create a level playing field for young people within the political space, we need to also have young people who are outside the political system on board. So tomorrow's program is not a rally, it's not a political event per se. Yes, it's been organized by young people within the Southwest for the Southwest and Kwara states, but it is a youth festival. We're trying to to leverage on entertainment to sensitize young people. We're going to be empowering young people who come. There's a raffle draw of 10 million naira that we're going to have a lot of beneficiaries from. We're also organizing a youth trade fair, for economic empowerment, because we're looking at over 30,000 young people who will be present at Liberty Stadium tomorrow. And then, of course, it's about organizing to take power essentially, to ensure greater youth mainstreaming in leadership positions, not just at the elections now, but we're also looking at within the party system. We have our convention coming up later this month, and we have quite a number of young people who are interested in vying for leadership positions within the party. So we're just working to ensure that both within the party system and at the polls next year, we have more young people emerging, and even those who are not within the party, who are not partisan, who are not card-carrying members of the party, also become progressive young people in their own capacity to be able to choose to support young people who are contesting for office.
There is a sense that this is creating, that perhaps your party is not giving the needed atmosphere for young people to thrive. Is that the situation?
Well, the one thing I will say is that in politics, nobody is ever entirely happy. If you speak to the women, they have a list of complaints. You speak to the young people, they have a list of complaints. You speak to older politicians, they also have a list of complaints. But what we are doing as young people is not just sitting by and reeling out all of these complaints. We're standing up, we're taking charge of our political future. We're saying these are the things that we want to happen, and we are organizing effectively around the changes that we want to see. So as far as we're concerned, we are done complaining. We're in the field, we're showing that we can do the needful, we can get things done, we can introduce a different kind of politics. It's young people stepping up to take charge. It's young people saying we've been at the back seats for long enough. It's young people saying we're in the driver's seat now, and we're getting others like us to support what we're doing. So the party system, our democracy is evolving. And this democracy was hard fought. We were able to get this democracy in the first place because we had people who would not relent on their efforts to make it a dream come true. And as far as we're concerned as young people, we are also playing our role to make sure that this democracy works for everybody and that it works for us. This is about a youth agenda. We're setting a youth agenda. We're saying we have everything that it takes to define the key issues that will usher in the next president of this country. We're saying young people should be in the driver's seat. Young people should be the ones making the decisions of who will get to lead us. Young people should be able to hold our leaders accountable, because at the end of the day, the decisions that are made affect us a lot more than any other group in this country. So it is us saying we're taking charge, we're getting into leadership, both within the party and at the polls, and we're reaching out to young people across the country to come on board with us, because this is a collective fight, and we all have to work together.
So the big question here is, with all of the activities that you're putting together, are you getting the attention of those who will possibly relinquish these opportunities of the positions or the opportunity, I mean, the leadership position that you're seeking for?
Okay, so last week in Lagos, we had a meeting with young stakeholders within the party system, young aspirants, our counterparts in the business world, and it was all about organizing effectively, making sure that our voices are heard, that our demands are met. Tomorrow's program is the first of its kind in our history, in our democracy. It's young people staging this entirely. It's entirely self-funded. We haven't reached out to anybody to fund us. It's us saying we can do this thing, we can get things done. Our leaders are paying attention, our leaders are taking note. Our leaders know that we are ready to step into these shoes and we are willing to do the needful. We have the capacity to get it done. The level of organization that I have seen working with this committee has been mind-blowing. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. It's a group of young people coming together across the country, getting things done. This effort has been spearheaded by the Office of the National Youth Leader. So while we're organizing this festival in the Southwest in Ibadan tomorrow, we also have other activities coming up in other parts of the country. So it's going to be a whole lot of activities going into 2023. We're not going to be quiet. These are young people saying we're doing things differently. We will muster the resources that we need. The edge that established politicians have always had over young people is finances. And we're saying, you know what, we have what it takes. We will support each other. We will do what needs to be done. Our voices will be heard. And we want to occupy leadership positions within the party. Not from an angle of saying, let the older people take a backseat. But no, we're working together as partners in progress. Young people need to be able to take their rightful place in the scheme of things. And that's what we're ready to do now.
So let me get it clearly so that your group's agenda can be clear to the minds of perhaps your leaders and the Nigerians who are watching tonight. Is it that you want a youthful president or a young president? Is that part of your demand?
The question, to the best of my knowledge, is not really about the age of the person. It's about the youth agenda. We have come together to define a youth agenda. And whoever is going to lead us has to be somebody that will be committed to executing that agenda, because we have every intention to hold that person accountable. Nigerian youth make up the bulk of
what is the youth agenda?
But also the voting population.
So what's the youth agenda? Apologies.
2019,
what is
young people made up about
51%
51% of the voter register. And 2023, with the ongoing CVR exercise, it's still young people registering in large numbers. So those numbers have to count for something. Nobody is going to win a presidential election in this country without the support of young people. And that is why the youth agenda has to be the most important thing for anybody who is going to lead us to be held accountable to.
So in essence, it's not as if you want a certain roles in the national leadership, or you want certain quota for youth in the National Assembly or State Assembly, or you want a president, a candidate of your party that has the agenda of the youth in mind. That's your ultimate agenda, isn't it?
We have an agenda concerning the presidency. It has to be somebody who will work on that youth agenda, execute it. At the same time, we're also looking at leadership positions within the party structure. I mentioned the upcoming convention earlier at the end of this month. We have a number of young people who are aspiring to offices within the leadership of the party, whom we are backing, whom we are supporting, and we are lobbying to ensure that more young people emerge in the leadership of the party. Also, going into the 2023 elections, we're also working to ensure that more young people emerge as candidates and that they get the support that they need. I made reference to a meeting that we held last week with young aspirants and a couple of other young stakeholders within the party. So we're working on all of these things. These goals are not mutually exclusive. We can work on having a precedent that will be bound by a youth agenda. The same way we can work on ensuring that more young people get into the National Assembly and into other elective positions. The same way we can work on ensuring that more young people get into the leadership of the party. And these are all the things that we're working on at the same time.
All right, that's great. So on a final note, Rinsala, what would be the take-home for a lot of Nigerians who are watching now? Because your party has been in power for the last 6-7 years now. So the confidence that you're trying to get from Nigerians is that they need to come out and vote for your party again. Why should they?
Because at the end of the day, if you're going to make change happen, you can only do it through a mainstream system. For those of us who have been in the political system for long enough, we know this. Some of us have also been on smaller political platforms. The numbers speak for themselves. Look at the number of people who were elected on smaller platforms compared with the number of people who were elected on mainstream platforms. Mainstream political parties have the structure, they have the reach, they have the resources to occupy most elective positions when it comes to elections. This is why young people need to come in large numbers. A lot of us worked on this at the last party registration exercise. We were able to get more young people to register due to the efforts of a national lobby group and the Office of the National Youth Leader. leader. We've also been able to get more young people emerge as leaders within state, ward, and local government structures in our state. And now we're pushing for better representation at the national level and at the polls next year. So this remains the most viable platform for young people to drive change. We are not divorced from the reality. We understand the concerns of the people of our generation. What we are fighting for is the same thing that other young Nigerians want, and we are pushing for it from within the political system. And we also need young Nigerians who may not be members of the party to take up their responsibilities by showing up at the polls on election day. Register for your PVC if you haven't already, and ensure that you pick it up. It goes beyond just something to use as an ID card when you need to go to the bank. It is something with which you exercise your franchise. So please come out and vote and be progressive, even if you're only going to do it through the ballot.
Inshallah Abiola, member of the APC lobby group and also a youth, member of the youth wing of the APC. Thank you so much, Inshallah, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And I wish you the very best. But that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Kimalo. I'll see you on Sunday at 8 p.m. Bye for now.